I think the excuse his dad used was he wasn't well trained. Porter wasn't well trained. I think it's
Yeah.
bullshit. Let me ask you a question about that, man. Just what a lot of people are already talking about. We hear what everybody had to say about it earlier this week. Uh, now that we days removed from the comments, what do you come to? Like, what's your conclusion you come to when it comes to what Kenny Porter did?
I think he was trained well. I don't think he had a problem with his training camp, like they tried to make it seem. I think the problem with the training camp was, I think the reason why Sean Porter is retiring, and it's just my opinion, is that him and his relationship between him and his daddy is starting to become a little toxic. And I think they were starting to bump heads. And I think this training camp, I think he prepared well, but him and his daddy started bumping heads more, because you gotta understand, Sean Porter, when he got with his daddy, he was a kid. And now he's at the age now where he's a grown man, he's been in the sport, he's commentating, he's married, he has a kid. So now he feel like he can have a little bit more input on his training camp. And his dad has always been the guy that said, Sean, this is what you need to do, this is what we're gonna do, this is how you're gonna do it. Point blank. So Sean thinking that he had a point in his career where I can say, yeah, we can do it this way, but I feel like we could kind of do it this way, or tweak this, or maybe I can do this. And I don't think his daddy was too happy about that. So I think they bumped heads. I think it started to have tension outside of boxing. And I think Sean Porter felt like he could never replace his dad as a trainer. So rather than have a strain on that relationship between him and his dad, I think he decided to retire rather than let it get to the point where him and his dad couldn't come back from. So off of that, I respect that. But as far as him being prepared for the fight, I think he's prepared for the fight.
Yeah, I agree. I think he was well prepared for the fight. You can look at the weigh-ins and tell not just by his physique, but how his dad attitude was at weigh-in. His dad was pretty much like measuring them, seeing how tall they was and all that. His dad was. You could tell his dad. You could tell Kenny. He thought his son had a shot. You can tell how he was acting at the weigh-ins. He didn't act the same way he did after the fight, where he said, "Oh, I knew this was gonna happen. You didn't train how I wanted you to train." I think all that, he was trying to save his son's face. I believe he saw his son. He saw Sean getting hit. Even Sean said it. I was getting hit more clean in this fight than I got clean my whole entire career. A lot of fans, they don't see how we see it as true boxing fans. We seen the shots he was talking about. A lot of fans, they look at it as Sean got hit a lot in the Earl Spence fight. Yeah, he did, but it wasn't as clean as it was here. Sean, if you look at a lot of the slow motion replays, Sean's neck was turning and buckling with every shot Crawford hit him with. And then the punches that most fans don't look at, the body shots. Yo, them body shots was what I think, in my opinion, what slowed Sean down. His dad seen all of that. His dad, as a boxing fan, he seen all that. He knew what his son was going through in the fight. So that is why I think he did that. He did it to save face. I can see what you said about him, their toxic relationships coming to a head. Yeah, it could be somewhat dealing with it because you don't want to be on TV, and then your dad cussing you out on TV too. So now all the people watching you commentate, you got to watch you get cussed out by your dad between every fight.
I mean, you kind of saw it at the end of the fight. I mean, at the end of the fight, when Kenny said what he said, you could see it on Sean Porter's face. He kind of was like, because he got so much respect. That's why I do like Sean Porter. As a man, you gotta love Sean Porter. But you could see that he really wanted to say something, but he held it out of respect for his daddy. But he didn't like what his daddy said at the end of that fight.
Yeah, you can see it too. You saw it too when he stopped the fight, when he walked off. Because his dad stopped the fight, and the referee asked Sean, "Do you want to continue?" He was like, "Hell yeah, I want to continue." And then when he turned around, saw his dad on the apron. You see his dad with the towel, and the referee was stopping it. You see Sean kind of look at his dad and then turn around and walk off. You can see that. I don't know, there was relief on his face or disgust. It's kind of hard to tell. I kind of think it was a little bit of both. I'm being honest. It was a little bit of saying that, yeah, I am hurt. I wasn't, going to win the fight possibly because I'm hurt, and I got a lot more time round to go through the round. So yeah, so you can see the relief on that, but you can also see that he was hurt that his dad did it. Like you can tell, like, your dad, why you stopping the fight for? But like you said, he didn't let it show only because it was his dad. If there would have been like an outside, say there was like, a friend of the, a friend of the family or a gym coach, I think they would have had words. But because it's that father-son relationship, he kind of just he used to his dad doing him like that in the personal life. Used to his dad sunning him in his personal life. So to us, it's like a big deal. He's been sunned in the ring, but that's his dad. He can sun him like that because it's his dad. So what can you do?
Yeah.
But I thought, man, I was upset about it. I'm not gonna lie. I told everybody. I even tweeted it out. I said, man, Kenny Porter owe me some money, man, because I was mad. I feel like Kenny Porter ruined the fight, man. He ruined it for both Sean, his son. He ruined. I'm gonna ask you this question: do you think Kenny Porter possibly hurt his son's legacy with that type of stoppage? Because Sean was talking about Hall of Famer and all that other stuff. You think that hurt that image?
I think it did slightly. I think because that's how he's going to be remembered as, stopping the fight where he could have continued. Like you said, I don't think he would have made it through the last 2 rounds because he was just getting hit too many times, and it probably would have been more of a brutal stoppage. But I think he had the right to go out on his shield, being his last fight, because kind of what Earl Smith said, you wore that Marvin and Hagler shit, the war. You said war, so if you coming in for war, let's and this your finale, let's go out with a bang. So because of that, I understand, but then I also understand it from a father point of view. You know what I'm saying? He's protecting his son. He got a nice payday that last fight. He's you don't want to get to the last fight and end up getting some kind of brain injury or something that's going to affect him in the future, and especially if you want to continue to commentate. So I understand why his daddy stopped it, you know what I'm saying, because it is his father, but I wish he would have let him at least continue, at least for one more knockdown, to try to go out with a bang. I mean, I don't think he could have won or done nothing different, but I think he deserved it after putting 15, 20 years into the sport to go out on his shield on that last fight.
To me, that just shows a testament. It just shows what he has. How can I say this? This just shows like the belief that he has in Sean punching power. Because if Sean was a heavier puncher, there's no way in hell you stopping that fight. Like his son, he in a competitive fight. You see him land his best shots on Crawford, while he was stunned. He wasn't buckled like Mean Machine did him or Game Boy did him. He wasn't stunned to that magnitude. So, in my opinion, it got something to do with the weight. Crawford getting more accustomed to the weight. He looked big in this fight. He looked big, so I think he's more accustomed to the weight now. More so than it has to do with Sean Powers, but that goes to show what Kenny thought too about his son. He didn't think his son had it. Oh, he knew his son. He knew his son was going to have it.
Undisputed junior welterweight champion of the world, from Omaha, Nebraska. In favor of the winner, remaining undefeated, proving he is one of the elite champions of the sport.